far, we had two other new programs for the year. And I'm going to recap those programs for you. First of all, we had the idea, this came from the board, of having some kind of a Writers Guild literary publication of some sort. We didn't exactly know what it would look like, but with the help of Laura Burkhart, who's with us today, hi Laura, and her team of volunteers, we got an online literary journal, which was called Latitudes, born. And several members submitted fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and more. The committee reviewed what was submitted and selected the pieces that they felt best represented the Guild. And then, with the help of our webmaster, Duncan Dempster, who's also with us today, Latitudes was produced and it was posted on our website. And it even includes some of the authors reading some of their pieces. So while our focus today is on reviewing our accomplishments of 2020, and that's a big accomplishment for us and was very time consuming, I do want to give a real quick shout out to Bob Lupo and his team because they're currently working on our second issue of Latitudes, which will be coming out in 2021. So it was a success and people enjoyed it and asked for more, and so we're listening. The second program that I want to highlight came from a board discussion about how we could support our members who are in different stages of their writing. So we talked about, should we have some kind of a mentoring program, or maybe we could have a coaching program, but kind of like Latitudes. We knew we wanted to do something, but we didn't know what it was going to look like. In the end, we came up with what I like to call our Writing Buddies program. And we put the word out to our members asking if people needed somebody to pair up with them to help provide support in their writing. We got 8 members who volunteered for this inaugural effort, and each member was then paired with another member, and they met to discuss how they were going to work together to support each other. So I know some of the pairs are meeting weekly, others are meeting just as needed. Some are using Zoom or FaceTime, others are getting in touch over the phone or just sending quick texts. But I do know that one participant, with the support of his buddy, actually got his book published this last year. And I do personally happen to know that 2 of the participants are just finishing up their manuscripts and are on their way to publishing this year. So if you'd like to see this program continued, or if you want to see it changed in any way, again, here's an opportunity to use the chat feature and provide your input. But thus far, it's been a success, and the feedback I've gotten has been very positive about our Writing Buddies program. Next, I'd like to call on Louise Riofrio, and Diane mentioned her earlier. She's our events coordinator and our marketer extraordinaire, as I like to call her. She is just recently back to Hawaii after travels, and would like to hear from you, Louise, about our pop-up book sales from the previous year. Louise, you're muted.
Oh, pardon me. Oh,
there we go.
Thank you, Diane. And aloha, I'm so happy to be back here on the island. Anyway, I was going to talk about Pop-Up Bookshop. It went we managed to keep it going for about 3/4 of the year, but I'm afraid it ended just before the big holiday season. So since coming back, I've been doing everything I can to get it started ASAP. We had our nice space in the stable. We lost it, but the good news is the market is going very well. I was there today. It's as crowded as a Middle Eastern bazaar with customers. So I'm getting that started as soon as I can. I wish I could give you some exact dates, but the plan is still to have it on Saturdays, to add Wednesdays and possibly Tuesdays down in King Shops. And again, though it's not officially part of Writers Guild members will always be welcome to come and sell their books. And to sell even one copy of your books on a Saturday morning is a wonderful experience. And I hope you all get to do it. So really, other than that, it's still a work in progress. I know a lot of businesses have had to scale back in this year, and just like any other small business, we have to build it up piece by piece again, but it's moving as fast as I can. As soon as I can, I'll give you some dates for a restart.
Okay, real good. Thank you, Louise. I am going to turn it back over to Diane for another book giveaway.
Okay, I'll bring the spinner back up here and we'll give it a spin.
You get my book?
I think so. Close.
Ah, so Duncan. So the books for this drawing are a pair. It's Banana Girl, An Asian Woman's Life in China by Jada Rufo. And paired with that is On the Carving of Dragons, Translations from Ancient Chinese by Richard Bodine. So that's for the first drawing. And that goes to, oh, did it move? No, I got to spin again. Here we go. Have A Mountain on My Back, a memoir of a Chinese woman, and also the second book, Embracing My New World. And both of those are by our member, Yufeng Shen. And back to you, I'll stop my share.
So I'm trying to get those recorded too. So, okay, that takes us to the member participation aspect of our meeting. And I'm going to turn it over to Isla for getting input from you all.
Okay, here we are back. So I've been watching everybody's chat, as you all have. So we have people interested in the mentorship program. Laura Burkhart wrote where experienced writers would work with beginners. Johnson was interested in that too. And the first thing, actually I should say the first thing first. Corinne Ann Allain, she wanted to know, how do we connect with each other off video? And also, how do we know our dues are due? But let's deal with the off video thing. How can people write to each other? Is there a master email list that can be shared? What do you all think?
They don't tell you if your dues are up, so that's another good example.
Bruce, do we have a version of the membership list that could be shared with just emails on it?
There is such a version with just emails, yes. So we could definitely provide that. It doesn't have any other personal information on it, so that could be used. Also, if people write to the board can put something out on the Google groups, and our Google group goes to all the members. So it is possible to send something to everyone directly, via one of the board members. But the individuals do not have the ability to post themselves, but they can certainly pass on information that could be posted to the whole guild, assuming it's appropriate. But yes, we can provide, I'd like the board to agree on how we do that, but we could provide just an email list to the two guild members.
Yeah, it might be harder to go through all those channels to me through Google Groups, but I think sharing the email list maybe twice a year just depends if all members are okay with that. That would really need everybody's okay too, right?
Yes,
yeah, Diane.
That's exactly my concern, that some people may or may not want their email shared this way.
Sure. And it's really meant just for the members. So if you need to get in touch with somebody, you can. Not for selling anything or promoting your own book or agenda. But yeah. Okay, so the other question Corinne had was, how do we know our dues are due? That sounds like a Bob Lupo question.
Well, I send out gentle reminders to members when their renewal time comes around, and then I send, if some time passes and I get no response, I send another reminder. I'm reluctant to keep badgering people, so I send a few reminders to, depending upon how lapsed the membership is, I could send 3 or 4 reminders to people across over the year. So if you looked in your email basket, you'll probably find an email from me reminding you about dues. I'm conscientious about
Okay,
that. So, that's all.
thank you, Bob.
I think
Okay, and then, yeah, go ahead.
just one item, sometimes people don't seem to understand. When they join sets the month at which we then, a year later, will ding them for dues. So it's spread out. Not everyone's due on a particular, locked in step schedule. It's based on when you join, a year later, you owe new dues.
Okay. Thank you. So we also had, I brought up Laura asked about the mentorship program where experienced writers would work with beginners. And Johnson was interested in that too. And I think people were talking about that, but I was busy not listening. So is there anything else anyone wants to say about that? No? Okay. All right. And Diane Ravel likes the idea of pop-up videos. Thank you, Diane. Cheryl Ann wanted to ask about a resource directory, something that we have discussed in the Guild for years and years. Anybody want to say a little something about the idea of having a resource directory where we can share all different writing resources?
I think that's a great idea for what that's worth.
I know we have worked on putting something on the website. Duncan, can you comment on, because
Yeah, we have a semblance of a resource directory now, but it's not very well managed or maintained. I can certainly improve that by, if I can get some input from each and every member who wants to be a resource. And then we have the other non-member resource, so like who's the Xerox copy machine company in town that's best, or right now our resources are mostly not member resources, but resources, other websites around the world that might help members. But if I gather that this particular question or request is what resources within our own group, who within our membership would like to offer their resources to others, such as copy editing or proofreading or what have you. And we can certainly do that, and I'm open to adding that. I can do that anytime as long as we get the input from the members.
Right. Yeah, and my question to those, the legal question is, can we do that as a nonprofit? If, say, I'm going to be an editor and I'm going to get paid for that, is that okay to do that as part of our nonprofit status?
Yes, good question.
Yeah. So we'll be with these questions too. We don't have to answer everything today. Let's see, Corinne also wanted to offer to host a monthly meeting at her home in Hakalau. Where is Hakalau, everybody?
Oh, Wailea, you must know where Hakalau is. It's Bob's town.
Okay, well,
Bob,
that's good to
tell
know.
them where
too, if
Hakalau is,
people-
Bob.
It's 15 miles north of Hilo and 42 miles south of Waimea.
Thank you. Thank you. So if anyone's interested in that, why don't you write on a chat and let Corinne know, and maybe you can share contact information. Okay, somebody also suggested, let's see, in terms of getting in touch with other members, let me just find it. Margaret said, might want to offer an opt-out option. Contact the board, Bruce, ? If you want to not share. Not sure what that exactly is saying.
I think I got that. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, good.
proposed is that people who want to opt out can contact me and I can make sure that they get flagged. So we would not forward their email to anybody else. I think we may want to put out a note to the membership, asking for them to specify if they want to opt out. We can bring that up at the next board meeting. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Okay, good. You understood it. That's all that matters.
Yep.
WB Wilson wanted to know when we will learn about the new latitude winners.
The latitude time window for submissions ended in December, and the committee is now reviewing all the entries, and we're about to have our meeting where we evaluate, discuss and evaluate various submissions, and I will be sending out emails relating what our decision will be across each genre: fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and dramatic monologue. Probably by the end of the month, by the end of this month, the next 2 weeks, I should be sending out emails to people. And, I really appreciate we had a load of submissions. The only genre that lagged last year was mine, fiction. But otherwise, poetry blew it out of the water, and nonfiction was also well above last year's levels. Dramatic monologue was about even to last year. But so we had a good participation rate, which I understand how how difficult it is for writers to get going sometimes, and so I really appreciate the participation, the response to.
Thank you, Bob. Yep. Okay, moving on. In talking about writing buddies, we had 3 people who are interested in being involved and having writing buddies: WB Wilson, Maliha, and Johnson is the ones that I saw. So that's a popular thing. And Duncan, I had a question for you. I was looking for somebody's bio the other day on our website, and I had to scroll through everybody. And not that I don't love everybody, but I just wanted to get to who I wanted to get to. And I wondered if there was a way to either alphabetize it or have all the names, and I could click the name and then go to the bio, or so just something for you to ponder.
Well, we pondered this in the past, and right now our author's page is alphabetized, A to Z, with a board up in front prior to that. So that's the only way. We cannot, because of technology and the type of web authoring we're doing, we cannot have a good search function. But
Okay.
our authors is alphabetized by
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
And
Some people are writing. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just watching the time so we can do one more and then we need to move on.
Okay. That's kind of everything. And I just want to put in a plug for the Hawaii Writers Guild sponsored writers group that's starting today at 2:30. Margaret's going to be leading that. Thank you, Margaret. And I'll also be doing a training on the 30th to train people for if they want to participate as leaders in writers groups, this writers group or any other writers group. That's it. I think we're good.
Excellent. Thank you.